Hey guys, it's me, the crafty curator. So, as you might have been able to tell by my rants on Instagram, I recorded this video using the webcam on my iPad, but I didn't record it directly through YouTube because I was hearing that there were all these problems and issues with being able to upload it directly through YouTube. So, I recorded it using the camera on my iPad, thinking everything would be just fine. Apparently, it has not been. I have been trying since 7:30 last night to upload this video. And obviously, I have been extremely unsuccessful because now I am about to record the recording from my iPad onto my phone so I can upload it on YouTube because number one, I love you guys. Number two, I promised you a video. And number three, I absolutely refuse to record this again. The shenanigans with technology. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, hopefully this will be successful. I'm going to hit play and just let the recording do what it does. And hopefully we'll be able to upload something today. I, on the other hand, am going to go and clean out my closet. So you might hear some rumblings in the background. If I don't come back anytime soon, perhaps whatever is in there is, taking me down and something went terribly wrong. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. So I'm going to be in the background cleaning my closet while hopefully this will be recording the whole way through and you guys will be able to enjoy my video. But I recorded this yesterday, December 30th, but one thing that I forgot to say at the end of the video was just to wish each and every one of you a very happy new year. It's actually been one full year now since I recorded my first video, 1 year on Flosstube, and I have to say that each of you have truly enhanced my whole stitching experience. And it's just been a fabulous year. Met fabulous new stitchy friends. New bonds were created, and I just adore each and every one of you. So thank you so much for your encouragement throughout the year, and I hope that I have been encouraging to each of you and been able to give each of you just a little bit back of what you've given me. So I wish each of you a beautiful, blessed, and bountiful new year in 2016. And here's hoping that this works. Hitting play. Happy New Year.
Hey guys, it's the crafty curator, Letitia. Hope all is well. I know it's been quite a while since my last video. In all honesty, it's been since August. Since August. And since then, let me tell you, I'm not going to give you one of those long drawn out explanations because nothing dramatic happened. Nothing dramatic happened at all. In a nutshell, I was in a fight with technology and technology won. I was trying to record videos. I recorded videos in August, September, a couple in October, and every single one of them, I came up with my own tag. What else did I do? I was trying to complete this tag while filming myself stitching. I did haul videos. Every single one of them either failed to upload, cut off in the middle of me recording, and I don't edit, so I was done. It cuts off in the middle. I'm like, oh my god, what do I do? And one of them, I was in the process of uploading, but it was taking too long, so I had the brilliant idea. I don't know what I was thinking, but long story short, I deleted the video, and then I couldn't understand why the upload wouldn't complete. I don't know. I don't know what I was going through, but long story short, I was overcome by technological issues, and I got frustrated. I got frustrated with trying to record because, some of those videos were really lengthy, and to have to go through the process of recording the same thing over again, it just became a little bit tedious. So, I just got annoyed with it. And I started watching everybody else, and I was stitching happily, and that's what I've been doing. A couple of people reached out to me, and I did get several messages talking about, how people missed my videos and missed my presence. So I'm really sorry, and I'm saying that not because I think I have such an impact on the community, but I know exactly how I would feel if one of the people that I love to watch and I look forward to seeing all the time just disappeared. I know how I would feel. I'd be concerned. I'd be worried. I would miss seeing their presence. So if I made anybody feel that way, I truly do apologize, because I would hate to feel that, because I value you guys too. I really do. Um, and I know it would be sad to see a lot of you not make a video. As a matter of fact, for example, Brian, I just reached out to Brian on Instagram, because I was like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while, and I had some nerve, because I think his last video was like a month ago or something, and meanwhile for me it's been since August, so I had some nerve. But that's all to say, when you notice somebody's not, present for a while, you go looking for them. So between life and school and technology, that's where I was. Nothing dramatic, nothing out of the ordinary, just stuff. So I'm back, and actually, I was coming home from work tonight, and let me rewind a little bit. I think back in October, I'm pretty sure Tracy P's birthday was back in October. What's up, Tracy? Um, she sent me a message saying, hey, where you been? I want a video, blah, blah, blah. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do a birthday video just for you, Yeah, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I don't know what happened. I think I tried to do it. I don't even know. I don't know what happened. But obviously, nothing got recorded. And then I've been saying ever since, I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do another one. And so one person reached out to me. Poor thing, they thought I was being bullied, and it scared me away, And I just felt terrible. And I kept intending to do a video, but it didn't happen. And then tonight, I read a message that was placed on my Facebook page, and Tracy was saying something about, sure do wish I had a YouTube video to watch, something like that. Very subtle. Tracy P and Emily, very subtle, ladies, but it worked. But Tracy, your last comment about empty promises, I saw that while I was recording. Well, yeah, because I had to redo this again while I was recording this the first time. I saw the empty promises comment that you left, and it hurt my feelings. And I just want you to know that, and I hope you're okay with that, and that you sleep well this evening, because you hurt my feelings. So anyway, moving on. But anyway, tonight, I'm just kind of jumping back in and recording something. And then maybe tomorrow or during the long weekend, I'll really dig into my haul, because things have happened. Things have happened over the past few months. I had an epic haul from eBay. A lot of stuff has come into my home. Mostly between like August and September. Because I'll be honest with you, I haven't made many purchases since October, late October. Yeah, I haven't been doing much purchasing lately. And it's a funny thing, because I put myself on this stitching plan where I was committed to finishing one of 3 projects, either Rafiki, the Raven Queen, or Josephine, by the end of the year. I said, I'm not starting anything new. I'm not picking up anything new or continuing any new projects. I'm working on one of these 3 until I finish one of them, because one of them is going to be done by the end of the year. And I met my goal, and I'm really excited about that. So I'll definitely share that with you. But yeah, that's all to say that when I was focusing on just those 3, I wasn't looking to buy anything else. It's the craziest thing. The only thing I think I purchased in the past couple of months was the midnight beads that I needed for the Raven Queen that weren't in stock when I originally ordered her. And other than that, I haven't been buying anything. And that, for me, guys, if you've stuck with me since the beginning, you know I was something. I was buying stuff and not finishing anything, and I really stuck on this rotation of these 3 projects, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, in regard to my rotation, or lack thereof, or whatever you want to call it, in my plans for 2016, but I'm just not sure that's going to be tonight. Tonight, I really want to show you guys a couple of finishes. One purchase that I found, Stash and Unload group, and it's funny because I posted, I want to say it was about a year and a half ago, I posted, I put on an all points bulletin for this pattern on Instagram. That's a while ago. And I know Jessie Marie tried to help me find it, and it was an out of print pattern, but I discovered this stash, and I didn't discover it. I recently found it. It's been around for a minute, I think. But the Stash and Unload group on Facebook, and lo and behold, the pattern was just right there. It was amazing. But I'm going to share that with you, and share some other recent purchases, but I'm not going into the epic haul just yet. I'm going to probably do that either tomorrow or the next day. I just really wanted to make a video to kind of jump back in and get my feet wet again, and keep Tracy P from sending me angry messages. Yeah, kidding, Tracy. I love you. But I just wanted to jump back in and share some stuff. I think I might even go into my needle minders. I've stopped buying needle minders, but I have recently, I won't say recently, I'll say maybe back August, September, October, made some purchases that I haven't shown in a while, and they're right here and they're easy to show. And then I have some very special needle minders that were actually made for me and sent to me that I want to share. So that's what I'm going to share tonight. So it won't be a terribly long video, but it won't be like in and out super quick either. And then, like I said, either tomorrow or the next day, I'll really take some time and go into my haul and my plans for the next year. So let's get started. So I said back in August, I know for a fact that was the last time I tried to make a video because I had to finish. I went on my cruise, and I started this with Candace, and I want to say Jessie Marie, and I did everything. I just about stitched the whole thing on the cruise, except for, I don't know what part I had left, but I know I finished it. I came back on a Friday, and I finished it that Saturday. So this was, and I'm going to mess up the name because I forgot. It's the Fibery Friends by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I changed some of the colors. This is stitched on 32 count Belfast linen and Amore and hand-dyed fabrics by Stephanie. And I changed out a lot of the colors because to me they seemed too pale. That was my opinion. So I got most of these are weak style works, and I just got some more vibrant colors. I think in one of the last 3 or 4 videos where I tried to tell you about this, I actually had the skeins out so I could tell you what the colors were, and I don't have them. I didn't have them prepared tonight. But pretty much all of the colors are done in weak style works, and maybe the neutral colors are still DMC, but like the turquoise and the dark plum colors and the teal and the seafoam green, those are all weak style works. But that's my Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. This was actually my very first Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. What am I saying? Is that what it's called? Frosted Pumpkin? Yeah, Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I've never done one before because I usually don't go for the cutesy type patterns. But I think I first saw this. Jessie was the first one that I saw with the pattern. And I knit, I crochet, and I cross stitch, so I kind of had to do it. So that's that. That was, this was featured in one of the many videos that I tried to record since then because I know I finished it on the cruise. So since then, what have I been working on? I've been working on Rafiki. He's one of my 2 whips now. I only have 2 whips going at the moment. That's going to change in 2 days as of Friday. Maybe I'll record on Friday. Yeah. To give you an update on what I plan to start on January 1st. So anyway, here's Rafiki. The Band-Aid is still there. We all remember the puppy dog Band-Aid. Yep, still there. So here's Rafiki. Here's our progress here. What I've been doing, where am I? This is page 4, so I'm in smack dab in the middle. You can see Rafiki, we're all so anxious to see him pop out, aren't we? And I say it of the time in my updates, he's been a cheeky little monkey, and he's going to come out when he's getting ready. He doesn't care. He doesn't care how much we want to see him. He's taking his time, and he's going to come out when he's getting ready. So page 4, which is what I'm working on right here, it's a whole lot of green. There's a whole lot of green in all of this, obviously, but he's sitting in a patch of shade in the middle of a bunch of trees, and the sunlight is reflecting through upon him as he's sitting there meditating. And that's what we'll eventually see when Rafiki shows his face. But let me tell you something about this monkey. Well, no, he's not a monkey. He's a mandrill, actually. But let me tell you something about this guy. You want to talk about confetti? It's confetti city. He's amazing with the confetti. I mean, he really shows off. But what you can see here, you see a little bit of his shoulder popping through, so that's kind of fun. But this next page, once I'm done here, this page 4, once I'm done page 4, which is really a bunch of green, I think his arm pops out a little. Excuse me if you heard that, my stomach is unsettled. I think his arm pops out a little bit in page 4. But this next page, page 5, is all Rafiki. It's all monkey. So we're going to see how that goes. But, you know, I'm loving Rafiki. And Rafiki completely changed my rotation. That's why I say my quote-unquote rotation now. Because I think I stitched on Rafiki for like a month straight. Every time I pick him up, I just go for it until I get tired. And my plan recently was I was just going to stitch on him for the rest of the year. That was my plan. And then I got tired of the green. And I decided to go back to the Raven Queen. And the Raven Queen, I've been working on her for maybe the past couple of weeks. And here is where we are with the Raven Queen. I'm not going to take her out, but right here and up here, I have the whole top of the pedestal done into the middle of the page, and then the whole right side of the pattern is done with the pedestal just in the first half. I'm doing the whole entire first half of the pattern first. And then I'm going to attack the bottom. And then I think as much as I hated it with Josephine, I have discovered that I don't like beading. And I said this a few times on Instagram. I waited until the very end to complete the beading on Josephine, and I don't even remember when I stopped the stitching on Josephine, but as soon as I started the beading the bottom of her skirt, I was overwhelmed and kind of said no thank you and put her in timeout for a little while. And a lot of people, I've heard so many people say that they absolutely love the beading and it's their favorite part. So I'm so excited when I got to that point that I'm like, oh my God, I get to bead. And then it was like, oh my God, I have to bead. So it's not for everybody. To each his own. So on Raven Queen, I decided I was going to do the beads as I go. And let me tell you, it is so true what they say about trying to put beads inside of a Q-snap or a hoop. It's not going to happen, at least not for me. I haven't been successful with even trying, and I learned that as I was trying to move my frame with Josephine. I see why people save the beading until the end. So I'm going to bite the bullet and save the beading till the end here as well. So right now you see I just have her dress, half of her dress done. Actually, did I finish her dress in the top half? I don't know what I did. I might have finished her dress in the top half. I might have, I'm not sure. Because there's her one glove. Here's her other glove. And right now I'm working on the background with the dark blue or the grayish blue Karen water lilies, and I'm about to start the other raven. Well, one of them's raven, one of them's crow. I named them, but I'm about to start the other one. But I think I'm pretty much done with the Karen water lilies inside of her dress, which is the teal and the variegated colors. I'm trying to get that just quite right, but I can't seem to do it. But anyway, I think I'm done with the top half of her dress. So as you can see, I haven't started her skin. I'm in a bit of a dilemma about what to do about her skin. I want to do another conversion. I don't know if I want to do it one of the one. I don't know what I want to do, but I want to do something. I want to do something. I really, and you're gonna see why I really loved making Josephine my own, and I want to do that again. I just don't know what I'm gonna do. So I'm saving her skin possibly until the very last. I mean, the whole, not just the skin, but her whole head and headdress and everything. I might save all of that for very last until I'm sure about what I want to do. Because I tried to do the skin 1/1 for Josephine, and maybe, I remember, it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare to the point where, an abusive fabric had to get involved, and it was awful. So I really want to be sure about what I want to do. I think I want to do another skin conversion. I really do. I like adding that special touch to these memorabilias and making them my own, and I just enjoy it, and I like how it came out. So I might do that again. Not sure. I definitely know I want to do that for the Willow Queen, and I think I just gave something away about one of my stash acquisitions. So anyway, I'm babbling. But here's the Raven Queen. And here's where she stands. And yeah, that's where we stand. So right now, I have 2 whips. I have Rafiki and I have the Raven Queen. Now, don't get me wrong. I have several unfinished projects, but I have 2 whips that I'm working on right now. I'm trying to drink and the cup is closed. So why do I only have 2 whips, you say? Letitia, I remember you had 3 at one point. What happened to the 3rd one? I'm so glad that you asked. Let me show you. Dun, dun, dun. I have finished Josephine. And I am so excited. She is my very first memorabilia. She is my very first big project with beading. She is the first stitch that I started in 2015. And I guess she's going to be the last project that I finish in 2015. Not even I guess she is. But here she is. I'm going to do this nice and slow and try to get up close so you can really see her in all of her glory. That headdress. My goodness. Isn't that something? With the diamonds dripping down her shoulder. This lady, maybe I should back up some. Yeah, there you go. Because I'm trying to look through the linen. This lady has got some beads on her. Look at the beads at the bottom of her dress. I mean, and in her sash. And just dripping off her arms and her shoulders. But I do believe that this headdress is my favorite part. My absolute favorite. So that is Josephine. And I'm really, really proud of her. I started her, like I said, on January 1st, 2015. She was my very first stitch of the year, and I finished her last Saturday, which was the day after Christmas, so that was December 26th. So, excuse me. So that was really great. It was really something, and I showed it to my husband, and I don't think I will ever forget what he said. He said it was magical and magnificent, and he was stunned. And I think, in all honesty, he knows what I do. He knows how into it I am. I mean, we were watching Flosstube together the other night and discussing Katie's 366 starts and what that means and how she's going to manage them. We had a full-fledged discussion about it. He's really getting more and more supportive of my stitching. It's something else. But I think this was the first time I truly saw a true appreciation of what I do. He said it was magical and magnificent. I'm saying, that's something to hear from your hubby. You know what I mean? But I am going to get her professionally flamed, professionally flamed, professionally framed. Um, I'm contemplating, number one, I need to iron her. You can still see the hoop marks. I mean, I took her off. You can tell the last thing I did was her headdress. So I took her out of the hoop and I rolled her out. And she's just been sitting to the side. But I know I wanted to film it, so I haven't done anything to her yet. But I am going to iron her. A couple of things that I've realized personally with the beading, especially, I tried my hand with invisible thread. What they say is true. It's very tricky. It's not my friend. So I switched to a thread that matched the fabric, and it worked well for me. I didn't want to switch every single time I changed color with the beads. I know some people match it to the bead. Some people match it to the floss that they're stitching under, that they're stitching over, rather, that they're beading over. I matched it to the linen. It was like an ecru color. I don't know exactly what color, but off the top of my head. But like when you get to the bigger beads, no, you don't see it still. No. So you can't see it. So that's what I did. Oh, they shine like diamonds, don't they? But anyway, I'm getting carried away. Losing focus. So I used a thread that matched the fabric all the way through. There's a cat hair right there, a couple of specialty fibers for you. All the way through. And look how it glimmers. Isn't that something? I get so sidetracked when I watch it sparkle. I get so sidetracked. But anyway, I used the thread. I'm going to say this for the 5th time because I'm not focusing. I used the thread that matched the fabric. I didn't focus on trying to match it to the thread I was stitching over or match it to the beads. I didn't have time for that. I just honestly wanted to use one thread that I could use throughout, and it worked for me. It worked well, even over black. I'm telling a big fat lie. Over her skirt, I did use black thread. I did. Over her skirt, I did use black thread, but throughout her sash and all of these sections right here, the dripping diamonds and her headdress, all of this up here, that was all using a very light thread. So what do I want to do? I definitely want to put some interfacing on the back. I like seeing the back sides of work, and I do believe this may be the first time I've ever showed my back side. I don't care. It's not perfect, but it's mine, whatever. So that's the thread that I use. See that light thread right there? That's what I used. Ooh, that doesn't look good, does it? But anyway, that's my back. So I think because I tried not to carry some of the threads, but you can, obviously there were some areas where I had to carry the threads. I think I want to put some interfacing over the back there, just to kind of anchor them down a bit. You know what I'm trying to say, don't you? It's been a long day at work, guys, I'm sorry. Try to anchor them down a bit and just have a neater backside. And I'm thinking about, do you have it rain? It just started. It's crazy heavy rain. I'm all over the place tonight. I apologize. I really am. I think I'm going to try to mount it myself using Tara's tips because, by the way, Tara, when I framed my dad's piece, if you're watching, your tips were so helpful. I mean, it didn't look like a professional did it, but I could have played a professional on TV, that kind of thing. You know, there was an improvement. There was an improvement from when I tried to do my own framing previously. It was something. It was a huge drastic difference. So I think you're gonna help. I might try to mount this myself because I was chatting with Ed, you may know him as the Tattooed Stitcher. He gave a very good piece of advice, and I can't remember if Tara said the same thing, so I might have to go back and watch her video. But he said said if you mount it yourself on the board yourself, that takes a lot of the cost out of getting it professionally framed. He also said, and this was interesting, so if anybody has any feedback, please share it. He also said that if you take it to Michael's or Joann's, they typically don't have a lot of experience with framing needlework, so they don't know to use a certain type of glass or a certain type of board to mount it to. They don't know about using acid-free or to even create the spaces in between the beads. Just a lot to think about, and I never considered that because I was so anxious to use the coupons that they always have. They always have 50 to 60% off framing, so I was excited to take advantage of that, but now I'm seriously considering taking it to my L&S, because that's mostly what they do. They know what to do with needlework, how to frame it. So I think I want to, I've never gotten anything professionally framed, so I think I'm going to make this my first investment. And I'm excited about it. So the next time you see Josephine, she will be fully adorned. The funny thing, it's a little fun fact about Josephine. All the pictures that I posted, if you look really closely, all of the pictures that I posted from when I completed the stitching to when I completed everything, including the beading, I forgot this one little cross stitch. It's 1X, and it was her lips. So her lips right here, it's one cross stitch. I want to say 9/17. Right there, that one little plum X, that was I forgot to put her lipstick on. What a diva. So she's making all of these debuts on the social media without her lipstick on. Just saying. So that was the very last thing that Miss Josephine had done to her, put her lipstick on. And I just thought that was funny. But anyway, moving on. This is going already into half an hour. So let's see. The needle minders, I don't know when I'm going to know. So I'm just going to keep going. So here's one of the purchases that I made recently. I drank the Kool-Aid I got on the bus, and I joined the Lavender and Lace Angel of Love Stitch-Along. Well, I really didn't join the Stitch-Along because I haven't even opened the package yet. The Stitch-Along, I believe, started December 1st, but this was my last purchase, as a matter of fact. So it started December 1st, and I was watching Tracy's progress. All of you guys know this. I don't know why I'm holding it up like that. Everybody knows what that is. So I was watching Tracy's progress, and before my experience with Josephine and beading, I was lured in by the sparkle of the beads. So now that we all know how I feel about beading,